Adonainu, Mורנו, ורבינו, המשיח, Dvar. Welcome to the weekly English Sicha of the Dvar malchus. This week is Parshas taitzai. Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit starts off, and we see in this week's Parsha, we read two Parshas. And the Parsha we read in the morning by Shabbos Parshas and Mincha. We read Parshas Kisavai. We understand the connection between taitzai and Kisavai, because the Chayera, they are opposite things. Taitzai means going out. Kisavai means going in. Also, the teichen, the content is taitzai is going out to war. And a war is not the idea of the menucha. That's the opposite of kisavai. Kisavai means when you're coming back, you're going into Eretz Yisrael and you're ready, everything's settled. And so the Avodas Adam, taitzai shows that the nefesh lakis where is it's coming down to this world, to the body, or into the galus. You have to fight to provide the goof. However, kisavai it goes in a time where there's peace. And when Eretz Yisrael, the Beis Hamikdash, and especially that Kisavai also goes on, coming to Eretz Yisrael by the Gula. And according to this idea, the whole idea of Kisavai is coming into the idea of coming to Eretz Yisrael by the Gula. And not only two different ideas of going out to war and coming back, rather it's the idea of Avodah. The idea of the Avodah Adam and Kisavai, or by the Gula, it's like what Schar B'chlal. And this idea of these two inyanim, we see also in the Pirkei Avos this week that we read two parakim. The first parak starts off Mesha Kibel Tairim. We see that Mesha going down of the Mesha giving the Torah from generation to generation. However, the second parak goes on, has the idea of Da Shamat Mitzvah Shatzadik. And even though the schar of Shalom, and even though that's the Avodah working at the schar, we read it one parak. Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains that the idea is that the kisavai is an explanation like taitzai. And how do you do taitzai? You think that you have kisavai. What we see in the Pirkei Avos is da means now we have to have knowledge, we have to have das that by the day of matan tzchar of the schar. And then you see this idea also in the mitzvah, the sixth parsha taitzai, b'yem mei titen tzchar, the day of a person is working, he has to get the schar. Understand this? We'll start this based on Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit that brings Rashi writes on Kiteitzai Malchus Alivecha Be'Melchemes Harashus Akasam Madav. They were talking about Melchemes Harashus. Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit asks the question: if we're talking about the Avodah of Mavar, the Guf and the Nefesh Hamis, how is it Melchemes Harashus? Another question is: you're going to give the schar, the reward. When you get a reward when something that's bad said, you're not obligated to do. You're doing additional work, you get a reward, you get a schar. Or this Avodah of serving Hashem, you have to do it. It's a chayva. So why is it shaykh schar? So the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains the Medaik. What's the idea of taitzai? What does taitzai means? That this person is coming out. What means he's coming out? It means even while he's here, it's recognized he came to here. He's not from here. And that goes in the Neshama. The Neshama is higher in the world. The Neshama is from Lifnei Tzimtzum. The Neshama is one of Hashem. Like you'd see in the sixth parish, it says, Le'yava avay lekecha shmel bilam. Hashem didn't want to listen to bilam. Why not? Yeheivcha avay lekecha. That every single year you have the idea of avaya, the idea of atzmos. And that's why Eit Mechem Teshus, because you didn't have chelik avaya, part of Hashem, higher in the world. And meaning that Hashem consulted V'nish Mersen, sticking with the Neshamis to create the world. Therefore, it's the Mechem Teshus. It's sad the way the Yisrael are down in this world, where they have the chayva. So the shayrish of the Yidden, where they really come from, the whole idea of the Roshus. And I explain the idea of the Sechar, that why Bechlal did Hashem come and coming down here? Because Hashem wants a Dir B'Dechtin. Hashem took the Eden Seif there was before, the only Hashem distance. Hashem created this physical world. However, in order to Dir B'Dechtin should be into the world, Hashem brought it down into this world. But ever, even when Hashem is down here, what's the purpose? To bring down atzos in this world. Therefore, even when Hashem is down here, it has to recognize its source from atzos. And that's the chiddush. Even while Hashem is down here, it's recognized our source, or it's recognized that it comes from atzos. And that's the idea of kisavai b'hemshech to kiseitzai. What does kisavai mean? It means that even though the place of the neshama is l'mayla, there is kisavai, the neshama comes out into this world. Until that, she makes the artist makes a place of Eretz Yisrael. Until we accomplish the idea of hemshech, mashaf kisavai, the idea of bikurim, it's recognized that the Yidden are the bikurim of the greatest of the entire world. And therefore, so too is the idea of the schar. Just like Eleveda, so too the idea of the schar. Alter writes in Tanya the whole idea of the Messiah is all in Masin over the same time of Galus. Why? Because the whole idea of Lashon Love is the Gilead and Safe, Al-Bis. And what's the idea of the Vedas Hashem down here? It's also to reveal Hashem. So it comes up being that the schar is the Veda itself. The Veda is the Megala, of course, in the world. That's the idea of the schar. And that's how Hashem is Makayim, the idea of through every single mitzvah, you have schar, you're revealing Hashem. Not only that, every single has a power to get the completion of the schar, the gula, through the mitzvah achas they do, and accomplish the day of the gula. In addition to that, we also have a schar al-asalavi. It will be after the Aveda al-asalavi. The asalavi will have the Aveda of Teira, Tachlis, Shemus of Teira, Chadashim, taitzai, have the premise of Teira, and mitzvahs. We're also going to have complete the Beis Mikdash and being in Eretz Yisrael, and the schar of that mitzvahs, of those mitzvahs of Messiah will be the asalavi. According to this, we're going to understand even more how in the Avedas Adam we have the idea of the schar. Why? Because the whole point of the Avedas Neshama is to reveal atzvos in this world. So therefore, it has to be recognized in the Yidden, there are stores. There are stores that was Lamaila. And what does that mean? The Avedas Adam doesn't start, the first step is not the Neshama ways down here. But the first step in the Neshama way is Lamaila. And that's how when the source of Hashem Ma'ila, as part of Atzmos, is recognized even down here, that gives a power to accomplish the idea of Masin for the same. The Rebbe Moshiach Shlit explains that they can even more than this. Through the idea of taitzai the Adam, we right away Kisavir La'ar, that's the idea of the Gula. When this was saying with the Mashiach came, then lead to the completion of the Menucha and the Yisiyashvus. Not only that, we have Kipshutoi. Avedas Hashem down here in this world, we have all the good things physically and spiritually that allow us to do the K'ayim Torah mitzvah. Like I'm right, that we'll do Torah mitzvahs. Hashem promises Hashem will take away all the things that are disturbing us. And Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit explains that the partial week and Kisava, we're also able to calculate with the month. What's the time of the year? The time of the year is Chedesh El. Chedesh El is also that same idea. One had it's a cheshbein on the whole year. Where the cheshbein means we finished everything to the schar. On the other hand, it's the achana for next year. And when they say this idea, also in the Ashtavis, Ani L'Doidi and V'Doidi Ani starts from the person. However, what's the purpose? To connect Hashem and the person. Like you say, the last 4 yuds of every single of Ani is yud, and L'Doidi, V'Doidi Li is 40 yuds. It's 40 days from Chedesh El to Yom Kippur, and Yom Kippur is the tachlis shlemus of the unity of Hashem and the Yidden. Which is the idea of Nisuin, the idea of marriage. There's also the idea of Nisa, uplifting, which is the shlemus of the uplifting through the Mashiach, and through him also the spark of Mashiach inside every single Yid. The Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit says, especially in this year, Tafshin Aleph Tinasi. Tinasi goes on the Nisuin out of the Yidden and Hashem, and it goes on Nisa Mashiach, we are very uplifted. Like Yalgi Train writes, the year Malach Mashiach will be revealed, he'll stand there from Ismail and he'll announce, he gives when he will ask, because we're not studying Chedesh El of Tafshin Aleph, and we're last one, so you can't push it off. For sure, the Gula has been taken from Miyad. That the pastures this year, Chedesh El, Tafshin Aleph, that is the end of the Avodah of Golos. And in this month, we're starting to get the schar of the Gula until it rega's the Mamash. And the Rebbe King Moshiach Shlit says in Chedesh El itself is even more in our time. Why? Hidalad Elul is the Erev of Tesavel. Tesavel is when the moon is complete. That shows on the shlemus of the Yidden. And it's more, and also the whole completion of the moon is through Yeshis and the sun. That's the idea. The Yichud Shemashim. Also, that from Yidalad Elul we start getting ready for. It's already 30 days before Sukkot. When we start learning halachas sukkahs, get ready for sukkahs. But sukkahs also have the idea of connecting above and below. We have the Ismach Yisrael, but Esav Yidden are having simcha from Esav, when they created them from Hashem. And Ismach Hashem b'maitzav, Hashem is creating having simcha with the Yidden. And especially in our generation, the Erev Shabbos is that Gimel El. Gimel El was the chasana of the Friedrich Rebbe, and 42 Alefel. The Alefel is the Chasna of the Rebbe Rashab. And coming up to Tassovel is the Istiastas of Shabbos Parshas. What's unique about these events of the idea of the Chasnas and the idea of Tassovel, the Istiastas of Timchetim to the Geula. Every single marriage of every single year they do the Geula, like we say in the Pasuk, Maheda Yishama, Ori Yehuda of Chutz Shalom. Especially Chassan of Nasi Yadir, Nasi is everything. Especially the Nasi of Chassidus, where they are revealed Prima Satero. And through that, Asimar the malchus Mashiach, especially by the connection with the idea of Timchetim, the Bachar and the Shiva called why? Because they're complete. They learn Nigla and they learn Chassidus, and now that the Chassidus in a way are studying just like a Nigla. Therefore, they call it Dovber because they're fighting against those that are those that are making fun of Mashiach, and they reveal they accomplish the revelation of Mashiach. The HaMashiach Shlit said this Tkufa about the war is already completed, and now we're already standing on the idea of the arresting of the Shekhinah in the base of English. The HaMashiach Shlit says, let's tell you from where we say what's a Maisa Weaker. The Plum was in every single place that we're staying now on the end of our ורבינו. And now in the beginning of the Schar, beginning of the Kisav L'Aretz. Therefore, we have to be Aveda, that are ideas. So they're starting with, they have to do with the Mesa Mashiach, starting with learning there and Yanim of the Geula, making for bringings, also the Sanim and Shemesha Mishnah, and also, which is the main, the Simcha of Lasad Love. Our generation, the Friedrich Rebbe, his name was Yitzchak, Hashem, which is, Yitzchak goes in laughter and joy. So it says, Az Yimali Yitzchak Pinu, Az is in the future. So now we have the idea already hover. And this idea of the publicized in every single place. And also the publicized in every single place, but the shlichus of Teim Chetum, that they are near Slahar, every single house has to be Teim Chetum, and through that you learn over there, also Chassidus. Also the publicized in every single place, that the Dayik, to see, to make sure that everybody that needs Tzarech Chag for Yom Tov, especially for the Shana, and they're speaking about all these things, will merit, Hashem will have all the brachas, the main brachas, the Gulman, the Hashem, the Mashiach, the Tkenu, like we read by Mincha, Shkifim, and Kodshecha, Hashem will look from Shamayim, Baruch, Hashem, Hashem will bench it, and starting the main bracha, the Gula, Mitzvah, Shleima, the Mashiach, the Tkenu, take it from Yad Namash. Chi, Adonenu, Moreno, ורבינו, מלך המשיח לעולם.